life like we have. Only we know what we have gone through, and besides being experts of our lives, we also know what will be helpful. We know what's hard and we know what is helpful. Maybe it doesn't come up immediately, but this is how we can help people to do better, by asking them what is hard, because if they want to do it but they can't do it for whatever reason, something is hard. Asking what is hard and what can be helpful. People and procedures, knowing your why. And when Nathan gave us that exercise, close your eyes and ask yourself, why are you here? This is key. This is key, because if the why says because my boss told me to go, okay, but you know how it will not sustain your interest. The why has to come from within. It has to connect with your values as a human being. And we're not really encouraged to think about our values, but it's a good exercise for us to do, because if your why is strong, you know your why. If your why is linked to your values, you will be committed, because it's going to be tough. It's not easy. And if your why is not strong, when it gets tough, you're likely to give up. So make sure your why is well articulated, and it doesn't have to be an individual why. It can be your team why or your company why, but why is important. Exploring our unconscious bias and this ableism. What is ableism? Where we feel there's one right way to be, and if we are able-bodied, that's the way. Okay, that is the biggest barrier. The attitudinal barriers are the biggest barriers to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging in the workplace. And and it's not wrong to have bias. If you have a brain, we are biased. Human beings, all are biased. I am biased. It may not be about disability, but I'm sure I have biases, and they're unconscious. Because when you are biased, you don't know you are biased. Someone else has to tell you you're biased. And that's where the disability community has been so good, because they have shattered our ways, this bechara way in which we look at disability. So I really salute the neurodivergent people, the disabled people in this room who have helped us to change our mindsets and not be ableist, because that is a big barrier to being inclusive. Of course, having written policies which are supported by systems which will create habits. So, as I said earlier, if you want to do an action and you want to make sure that action is done regularly, it has to become a habit. Now, how do we create habits? If we have systems. So anything we want to make a habit out of, we must make sure it's a system, and mostly that system has to be written down, because people change, and the system has something good that's happening has to be depend on the system and not on the individual. Training for all staff, including managers. Okay, HR for the teams, because managers change, so it's important that there's good handover. Now, accessibility and reasonable adjustments. The curb cut effect. When curbs were made kind of accessible, okay, it was made for wheelchairs initially, but it helps everybody. It helps people like me who sometimes need we can't step off high pavements. It helps women with strollers with their babies in it. So as I said, a change which was meant for one population actually helps many more people than just the members of that population. So accessibility in physical and digital spaces, I won't spend time, we have all the experts here. Changes in workplace environment. Suppose this was a workplace, maybe the lights are too bright, that sound someone singing next door, right? That could be disturbing. The seating may be too close. These are things that can be easily adjusted. They're not someone being fussy. It helps their brain to work better, and therefore it can be done, and it will help many people. Not everybody is the same. Many of us prefer to work late into the night and sleep late. Some of us prefer to sleep early and work early in the morning. Which one is right, which one is wrong? Neither. Both help us to do better, and of course, provided if we sleep late, we should take a job that allows us to start late also. Flexible work arrangements, so extra time, hybrid work, providing equipment and supports and services, whether it is software or it is more regular check-ins, because very often when a person is neurodivergent, they may not complain, they may not ask for help. right? They may continue to struggle and everybody may miss that. So it's important, whoever the supervisors or the managers, that they check in to make sure that there is an opportunity for these kind of struggles to be communicated, because a feeling of belonging is essential for good mental health. And I can only feel I belong if I know that I have a voice. So communication has to be two-way, clear and simple language. The jargoning has to be, simplified. Of course, any communication is acceptable, including what we call AAC, augmentative alternative communication. I feel strongly about this, using neurodiversity affirming language. Okay, so it's a sense of pride, not pity. For example, as doctors, we have this old medical model of this brain which is has deficits, needs to be fixed. That model is outdated. Now we have a biopsychosocial model, which is looking at the environment and looking at social disability rather than just fixing the body. However, in many of our assessment tools, we still have words which refer to the old model. For example, we have this red flags of autism. Now, what is a red flag? Red flag means danger, right? And that's so ableist. So instead of that, we use now early signs. So it's simple things like this which are neurodiversity affirming and not coming from a deficits, ableist mindset. Empathy, the last thing. Everyone is doing the best that they possibly can at any given point in time. I firmly believe this. I want you to firmly believe this. We are all doing our best, given that particular skill set, that the information and the knowledge that we have at that time. Best at that time is not a permanent. We can all do better with additional skills, additional supports or information and so on, right? But everyone is doing their best, and struggles are a chance to do better. As I said earlier, when we're uncomfortable, we stretch and we learn more. Compassionate curiosity. If you see someone struggling and you wonder what is happening, why are they doing this, ask them, ask the expert. What is hard? That's compassionate curiosity. Just asking what is hard for you, and what you'll get is really helpful to understand. And then that person also knows what would be helpful. So asking them what is helpful and then finding a way to provide that. And the psychological safety, it's not just physical safety, there's no fire here, nobody's going to push me off my chair, nobody's going to bully me, but the psychological safety, which is you belong as you are. You don't have to fit in. You were meant to stand out, and you can belong as you are, and your voice is valuable. And voice doesn't have to be speaking voice, it could be communication in any form. So what are our disability, equity and inclusivity and belonging solutions for a better future? Know and show. There's so many companies in here who believe that neurodiversity is an advantage, right? So please share your stories. We have the statutory provisions also. So it's a bit of push and pull. Push because there's a law, but that's not enough. We have to have pull, which is inspiration. And I really hope the people who are doing it, their message is communicated loud and strong, because everybody needs to hear this. And of course, building better systems to practice new behaviors. And I've given you a very quick and short mnemonic, which is the neurodiversity affirming space. Start with strengths, people and procedures, accessibility and reasonable adjustments, communication and empathy. So thank you very much. I know I've overshot my time. Thank you so much for your presence over here, and we look forward to listening to the other speakers. Thank you.
Moving to the Honorable Minister of Transport Industries, Trade and Commerce, Panchayati Raj, Protocol, Legislative Affairs. I also welcome Madam Pratibha Dond, President of Goa Chambers of Commerce and Industry. And we have on stage, whom you heard just now, Dr. Nandita from SEAT. To start the next phase of our program today, I will request the Honorable Minister and Pratibha Madam kindly move on to the plant so that we can take the proceedings forward.
Yes, great. And your sari is lovely, ma'am. Yeah, it's a good. So you like the sky? She's the flower and I'm the grass.
Greenery.
So I request Pratibha Madam to kindly address the audience. Yeah.
Good morning, friends. Honorable Minister, Mr. Mohin Kudino, Nandita, my good friend, Captain Utpal Dutt, members of the days, ladies and gentlemen. Today we gather to celebrate a crucial aspect of our society and that often goes unnoticed, the inclusion of persons with disabilities in the corporate sector. As we strive for a more equitable and diverse workplace, it's essential to recognize the valuable contribution that persons with disabilities can bring to the table. In India, there are approximately 30 million people with disabilities, of which 13 million are employable. However, statistics reveal that only a small percentage of companies have more than 1% of persons with disabilities and on their payroll. In fact, according to the reports, only 5 out of 50 Nifty 50 constituent companies have more than 1% of persons with disabilities on their rolls. In Goa, where we currently celebrate the International Fest 2025, we have inspiring individuals like Sadhya Bandorkar, a hearing impaired entrepreneur, and Sedif Sheikh, living with severe hemophilia, who are breaking barriers and setting examples for others. The Purple Fest aims to promote disability rights and accessibility in tourism and leisure activities, highlighting the importance of inclusion as a critical economic and social priority. The Government of India has introduced various schemes, welfare schemes, to encourage the employment of persons with disabilities. The Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities provides support for the employment of persons with disabilities, including provision of high quality assistive devices. Additionally, the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 mandates private establishments with 20 or more employees to publish an equal opportunity policy, that is EOP, detailing measures to ensure an inclusive work environment. Some special provisions for persons with disabilities in employment include, that is reservation, which is first and foremost it is reservation, where 4% of government vacancies are reserved for persons with disabilities. And there are many more. Honorable Minister, as the President of Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I have given focus on women empowerment. Our women's wing will now also focus on women who are challenged and will take support from your department. As we move forward, it is essential to recognize that disability inclusion is not just a moral imperative, but also a business necessity. By embracing diversity and inclusion, organizations can tap into a vast pool of talent, enhance their reputation, and contribute to a more equitable society. The International Purple Fest 2025 is a shining example of how we can come together to promote inclusivity and accessibility. Let us continue to break down barriers and create a society that values and empowers persons with disabilities. Let us have a nice session and a very good, these 2 days I think you all will be enjoying. All the best to you. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. I would now request Honorable Minister to kindly address the audience.
Present here for this international festival for the physically disabled and people with disabilities. Pratiman Don, President, Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Nandita D'Souza, Director of Setu Center, Goa. Captain Utpal from Ishtab Vigyan, who has been behind organizing this or contributing his might, our government officials, all you lovely people assembled here for this different kind of event altogether. First of all, I want to compliment the people behind organizing this in such a better and much awesome manner than with the improvement from what I saw last year and this year. And I hope all of you would be in agreement with me that it has improved quite a bit. We must realize one thing, that ultimately, unless we really involve the physically disabled people much more in different facets of life, which includes economic activity in terms of businessmen, in terms of industrialists, in terms of government, in terms of other organization, employing them and giving them to do something meaningful, I think is a big challenge. The percentage of people employed in this particular, in different companies, particularly the private sector, I feel should truly improve. As against this, I want to say one thing. All of you know that Goa is an international destination. Everybody loves to come to Goa, and we have foreign delegates as well who have come, and they are in fact applauding that such a festival being organized. Even otherwise, I want to inform you, Goa is a most preferred destination, tourism destination. You have people descending from everywhere to come to Goa. They love to come to Goa. But more important than that, in fact, sometimes some people must be wondering how such an event is taking place in Goa and why is it happening. Goan people themselves are very affectionate people, warm people. They are known for their hospitality. They are known for their goodness. And that's how we have people coming year after year, again and again, in this lovely state of ours. And I think this affection has automatically culminated to even the physically disabled people. This is the character of the people of Goa, and this has reflected in organization of this Purple Fest, which has now become a marquee event. Every year you will find it improving, I'm sure about that. I take this opportunity to compliment our Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant for having fully supported this festival, as well as the person who has taken deep interest, the Minister concerned, my good friend Mr. Subhash Paldesai. Unless you have thoughts being translated into planning and then further into action, things cannot happen. But how is it that we are going to involve you more and more in industry? How is it we are going to involve you more in more economic activity so you feel part of everything that happens? India is progressing at a great pace. The recognition of that is growing as the fifth largest economy, or going to be soon the fourth largest, and perhaps soon the third largest economy. But when we grow, it has to be an inclusive growth, a growth for every citizen, a growth for every type of person, a growth for physically disabled people as well. And that thought process of ours has to change. And I think the best place where the messaging will go so strongly, and then with a definite, I should say, action plan, there is no better place than Goa from where it can go. And that's how you find this festival even better than last time, and I hope all of you are enjoying it. There are different events, there are going to be discussions, there are going to be seminars, there are going to be interactions amongst you all, exchange of ideas, which ultimately helps to build that different mass of intellectual thinking. Yes, how are we going to have these people involved? At the same time, see that the industry also gains from their work. It is not that only able people have achieved things. There are some people with bigger defects who have proved that this should not be a disability. In how many fields have you people been shining? Much more than even a normal person has sometimes done. I can give you so many examples. And when it is there in you to do this. This is what you have to realize. And we as a normal society has to realize, yes, we have to encourage you people. It's only then that this type of festivals will become really meaningful. And I'm sure from a place like Goa, when such events are organized, I want this message to go to the entire corporate world in the country, to all the big, medium and small industry. It has certainly sunk into us here in Goa. As far as our industries are concerned, we will take special efforts to see how many more people can be employed gainfully, can do some economic activity. COVID taught us a new normal, work from home. So why can't you be sitting at home in your own comfort and contributing into doing the same thing what you would have done in that office? Today it is possible. All the tools are there with you. Today we in the world as such are like a huge global village, and if you excel in something, it will be immediately known to the world in a matter of seconds. And that is what we have to ensure that such things happen from here. All of you who are working towards this end, do something, try to do something a little more exceptional, a little more awesome, and get that extra thing out of your mind with out of your box thinking. It's only then this particular festival will become deeply meaningful, because the organizers also have it in them. Try to gauge what they want, what are their aspirations, what are their expectations, and what is it that the government can do by traveling that little extra mile. It is only then that you will get results. And I'm sure this is going to go a long way in making this International Purple Fest even more meaningful in our 2025, even more meaningful in our state of Goa. I hope you will utilize the remainder of your time into also going to different places in Goa, exploring different things, which itself are going to be experiences, helping and propelling you as well. You should not think that because you are disabled, you should, I can do only this much. No, you must say, yes, I can. And you will be able to do much more than what you are actually doing. And this is what we want you to do. Expect all support from the government. I will, in fact, enthuse my industrial bodies. One of the industrial bodies chairperson, she herself is a woman, Pratima Dond is here. and with the other organizations as well. I will try to persuade them. Please consider people with disabilities even more than what you are doing, and it would be a joint effort on part of both of them, the industry who is employing them as well as the disabled person. Both feel happy doing something and contributing something which is really meaningful and which will contribute to the economy as well. When we have such a large number of people in our entire country who are disabled, it is high time when we speak of inclusive growth, certainly you should be a big part in that. I wish all of you all the very best. Enjoy rest of your time and functions and whatever has been organized for you. Make the best of it, and we are there to help you. Thank you very much indeed.
We are happy that we have the person who actually is the mover and shaker of the whole fest here, and you could see him continuously busy on his phone. Commissioner Pavaskar from the State Commission of Persons with Disability. Would you please address the audience?
Good morning to all. I thought this is the conference I should not miss, and when I knew Ma'am Pratima and Mavin Gudino, our Honorable Minister, is here, I said I should be definitely here. There are a lot of things that we have already started doing in the sector for last so many years, but the flight has taken off. It was on the runway for a very long time. It was not taking off, but last 3-4 years it has almost taken off. But since they taken off, we are in the air. Now we again want to come on the land and ensure that it is very smooth landing. Having said that, when we talk about employment for persons with disabilities, I think the hospitality sector in the state of Goa, Mr. Hemant is here from Taj, there are Lemon Tree people here, there are so many other guys who have supported us immensely in this project, providing livelihood opportunities, employment opportunities to many. Industry is coming forward, but the pace at that we expect them to be part of it is a bit slow. It is a learning process for all of us. We don't blame anyone here. But I think we need to push it further from our end. It is the sector that has to work on it. We cannot expect industry to do everything for us. We have to go to them, tell them what it is, and ultimately we have to convince them that employment is on the skill, don't employ them because they are persons with disabilities, and most of them are coming forward to do it. Charity doesn't work for a long time. It is the retention that is more important for all of us. Accessibility in Goa, though we say we have done immense work in accessibility. None of the states have done it so far. I can say it very, very proudly, thanks to our Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant and our Minister Subhash Padesai, who works on the ground. But many things also need to be done. I would mention to Sir Mavin Gudino. So we have introduced this wheelchair accessible rickshaws first time in the country in last Purple Fest. So major hurdle was, how do I commute? How do I reach my place if I'm on a wheelchair? So these wheelchair accessible rickshaws have been introduced so that mobility is not an issue. But there are some places where we do not reach, so we need the bus stands, major city bus stands, the transport facility. Those have to be in line with what we do. Let's give a big round of applause to our Honorable Minister, Shri Subhash Padesai. We also have with us Honorable MLA from Vasco, Shri Daji Salkar. So reaching the workplace sometimes is a hassle. But since Honorable Minister for Transport Mavin Gudino is here, I'm sure by the next Purple Wave Fest, I can assure at least the major bus stands across the state will be fully accessible for persons with disabilities. They are already accessible. If you go to Kadamba bus stand in Panjim, it's already accessible. It's done. but also the sensitization has to be done for the non-disabled as well. We have seen places, in most of the places where we have done accessibility, we have faced challenges from the disabled community themselves, that they've said this is not required, why did you do this? And there are complaints which are filed in other government offices. So it's a huge challenge for us to also work in the system, though we are the part of the system. And when there's kind of a resistance from the disability NGO who says that this was not required and all, it gives a bit of a setback. But as I said earlier, the Goa industries, whether it is hospitality, manufacturing, are forward looking. They have already done so much for the community, and we expect this. As I said earlier, we need to push hard for it, and I'm sure with Setu, Dr. Nandita, and all of us, Captain Utpal Datta is here, Elrin is here, the entire team will work towards it. And by I think next 365 days, if we can have a proper plan. Ma'am Pratima Dhond is here. She is the head of the prestigious, the oldest industries association in the country. That's the Goa Chamber of Commerce. And I think we should make most use of her because she's herself is a social worker, been in the working for the society for so many years. With these stalwarts with us, Mavin Gudinova, Pratima ji, and Setu, we can do wonders in terms of creating employment opportunities for persons with disabilities. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Preeti, who is here with us. She is the Purple Ambassador, so I should extend a very warm welcome to her. Preeti is a Purple Ambassador this year. She has her own spinal cord rehab center that she runs, and many people have been benefited out of it. Let's give a round of applause to Preeti. Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. I came without giving any this, and I've taken 5 minutes of your valuable time. Thank you so much. I would request our Honorable Minister Shri Subhash Padesai to just say only few words, because he has to say few words at many places. So just few words, please. Because he's working on the ground. Yesterday night he was lifting chairs and tables and putting all around.
Namaskar. I extend a warm welcome to all of you who have come from all across the country and outside country. We have amongst us the most dynamic minister in the Ministry of Goa Assembly, Mr. Mavin Gudino, who holds the portfolio of transport and industries and panchayat. We have amongst us one dynamic lady who's I have seen from my bachpan. This lady is a role model for everybody, and she reaches out to every person who is in need, and she's holding an important position in Goa Chambers. And my good friend Mr. Daji Salkar, who is associated with us, and extending all his support for organizing successful implementation of the facilities to Divyanjan, and for all of us to successful organization of International Purple Fest. Friends, I don't take much of your time, because your time must go on debates and manifestation of a lot of things that should come in practice, what we talk on the stage and off the stage. But today I'm very sure this deliberations, this debates and this discussions will carry forward, and it will make a policy kind of thing, a document which will be submitted to the important offices of Government of India and Government of Goa and rest all the states. Friends, we've been trying to get all our workforce to put in from amongst the Divyangs are just not discards. Sometimes a few years back we used to think that having a Divyang child in house, there were a lot of stigma around us. But now we have come forward and we have identified the areas and the talent and the potential and the capacity and the creativity amongst the Divyangjans, and if we give them the proper guidance, proper workspace for proper workshops, and skill them in a particular area, they can do wonders. And with this aim and ambitions that we've started some process, and we got into it in the hospitality industries, and there are so many 250 people we trained them to work in hospitality, and it was not a favor, it was not just a sympathy towards them, but they've identified merits in them, and they are working on merit in the hospitality and the hotel industry, and their performance is alarming. And what the feedback that we have got, that they want more, the hospitality industry wants more of this kind of we try with the hospitality, and I'm sure in all other industries also similar situation will arise times to come if we skill them. I don't take much of your time. Once again, very grateful for all of you who are extending help, all the NGOs all across the country who have been collaborating with us, supporting us in our way, and the success of International Purple Fest. Just the credit should not go to the government of Goa or myself or my department, but it is the success of all of our NGOs who have come forward to support us. Thank you very much. God bless you. Dhanyawad. Jai Hind.